Okay, we have got a car which is moving along this path. And the car has moved from A to B at the very first, then from B to C, then from C to D, and after that, it is moving from D to A. So we'll go on step by step. We'll go step by step to know about speed and velocity. So let me tell speed as S here. Let me tell speed as S and velocity as B. Let me give this speed as S and velocity as B. So after that, let me take the car is moving with a speed of, let us suppose, 30 meter per second. This is the value which we are going to take here. In the book, it has taken 25 meter per second, but here we'll take 30 meter per second as the example. So if you look at the car while going from A to B, at the very first, it is going from A to B. So at that time, again, what will be the distance of this place? If you look very carefully here, you can see that the distance is also the same as that of displacement. Again, look at while going from A to B, it is moving along in a straight path. I see the Niraj. So that's why the distance, this straight path is the distance also. And we know if the path is straight, then that is called as displacement. Again, your case a path is a straight macha, the distance by again, distance by here, the length between two points, A and B. Okay, but this one, the straight line, it is a distance. And we also know that the shortest distance is called a displacement. The short distance it is a straight line. The shortest distance is a straight line from A to B. So we can tell that the distance, let me tell it as dt. The distance is equal to what? Displacement. Let me tell it as displacement. It will be dp. And distance is equal to displacement. So that's why. Now look at here. Right? So that's why, yeah, the speed and velocity will also be same. Right? Remember, if distance and displacement are same, then at that time the speed and velocity are also same. Speed and velocity same on a person part without being dependent upon time. Remember this. We are not dependent upon time. We are taking time as constant. Time is a same on it. We are letting that one. Late Goric. Otherwise, we cannot tell this. If we keep time the same, time yes or no? And but guess what? The distance and displacement may vary, and it may be different. Distance displacement because we know that distance is a circular path. Or let me suppose distance is the length. It is the actual length, while displacement is the shortest path. And that's why it could be different. The straight path is a displacement. The circular one, this curve one, this is the distance. It could be different. But in this condition, from A to B, I remember from A to B, they are same. So that's why speed is 40 meter per second. Where is my text field? Speed is 40 meter per second, 30 meter per second, while the velocity is also 30 meter per second. Right? Because distance and displacement are same. That's why they are 40 meter per second and 40 meter per second. Right? And remember, time is always the same here, right? As a time value even same here. We will not change the time. The time is same. Now, another thing we'll take second condition The car is moving from B to C now. I remember this now. The car is coming from B to C. Now, what will happen at this condition? So we'll know that now. Where is for life? Okay. Now we'll take the example and we'll try to know what will be the speed and what will be the velocity. We'll try to know that. Yeah. So for that, again, we should find the relation between distance and displacement. Okay. Now for that, if you look, the car is, again, the car is here now. We are taking from here. The car is moving from here to C point, from B to C point. Right? So at this condition, what will happen? The distance will be the same. Okay, it will cover some distance, and that car will cover some distance. K distance to cover, correct? But the car won't cover any distance. That is, sorry, any displacement. That displacement will be zero. Why is that happening? Why do you say that the displacement is zero? What is the thing here? What makes the displacement zero? Because look at it. The car was moving from left to right. While coming from A to B, the car was moving from left to right. But as soon as it went to B, as soon as it came at B, it changes its position. It changes its direction. Direction change and it moved to downward direction. So look at it from this point. I think there is no any displacement covered towards the right direction. Sorry. Huh? Bima pugisake right तिर गएको छ र is that car moving to right? Up to B from this point, is the car moving to right or not? Right direction मा गएको कि गएन होला? Class 9? Is the car moving to right? Class 9. Payal, is the car moving to right or not? From B.
Yes.
It is moving to right. Payal, right तिर गएको छ B बाट
I don't know, sir.
I don't know. You can see in the screen if you don't know that. B बाट अझै right
Okay.
तिर गएको छैन. Tell me where it is moving from B. B बाट कता गएको छ? Tell me that.
Going down. तलतिर गएको सर.
तलतिर गएको छ. Down. That means it is not moving to right.
Yes,
It is
sir.
going
Down,
down.
down.
Right. Okay. So it is moving down from B. That means the displacement towards the right hand side will be equal to how much? Will be equal to 0. Right तिर गएको छैन. त्यही भएर के भयो? The displacement will be 0 here. So here the velocity will also be 0 meter per second. Yeah, the velocity will be 0 meter per second. Similarly, speed will remain the same. It won't change. It is 30 meter per second. 40 meter per second. Now, now the car has reached to C. And now the car is moving towards D from C. Here we have got the car that is moving towards the D. Either. So now we'll again take dt and dp. dt and dp. That distance and displacement. What will be that value? What is the value of distance and displacement? We'll take that. And so now, and we'll try to know speed and velocity also. Yeah, speed equal to velocity equal to. So we have known that already. Again, we can see that while going from C to D, it is covering some distance. Right? It is covering some distance. So we can write here speed equals to 30 meter per second. Right? The speed will be 30 meter per second, but displacement is changing. Now look at the very first condition while going from A to B. Right? It is going from left to right. Right? It is going from left to right while going from A to B. Now it is coming from right to left, from A C to D. Right? From C to D, it is coming from right to left. That means here now some change will occur here. That is, the displacement will be negative here. Right? If the direction is changed, then the magnitude, right? The magnitude direction will also change. That means if the magnitude while going from left to right is positive, then while coming from right to left, just opposite direction, the magnitude will be negative. And the value will be negative. Magnitude means value. The value will be negative. Remember this. And here you will think that there is you may think that why hasn't this speed been negative, then speed ki negative right? So the only thing is that this is applicable to vector quantity only. Speed is a scalar quantity. So that's why the speed magnitudinal value on change. The sign that is positive and negative will only change for vector quantity. If they change direction. If they change direction, it will the positive and negative value will also change. Now, can you tell what will be the velocity here? I want to say RSL has the camp. Okay, ratio. What will be the value of velocity here?
Minus 30 meter per second.
Okay, minus 30. It will become negative. Minus 40. So this was from C to D. Now returning to the same position. We'll move to the same position, that is to A. Right? I think it looks like cell now, figure of cell. dt and dp. So the same thing here. Okay, the distance, it will cover some distance. That means the speed will be again 30 meter per second. It will be 30 meter per second. I remember here is meter per second. I won't write this again and again. And now the velocity will change, but the velocity will change. Now look at it. Now the car is going from D to A, and the car is going from D to A. That means what will happen here? the displacement covered will be 0. And why does that turns into 0? Because it is coming towards the same position. It has started to move from A वाला move by रहा था. Again, it has came to A. फिर के बाद A में आएगा. That means the displacement will be 0. If something will start from something will start from that position and again come to that position. Just for example, at the right side you can look at here. We have got a point here. A vehicle has been traveling along this road. Right? This is the road, and it has came to the same position. Now, someone has asked, or you have been asked, what is the displacement covered by the vehicle? And what will you tell? What is the shortest distance between these points? This is the initial point. पहिला को point पनि यही भयो हैन पछि आएर कहाँ भेट भयो again on the same point है त्यही point मा भेट भयो. That means the displacement will be 0 at this condition. Right? It hasn't covered any displacement. Right? जाडी निस्किया थियो त्यही फर्केर आयो. That displacement will be 0. Same here. The displacement will be 0 meter. That's why the velocity will be 0 meter per second. Right? So in this way, the velocity and speed changes in a path, right? In a roadway. And this is the change of velocity. So being a little bit tough, a little bit like this. So just let me know about this one, then this one, then we have got here and here. And these are the main important things. Other, this is for my remembrance. And other, furthermore, you still have to know about this also. Right? Why does this? Where is why is this equal dt and dp? Why the dp equal to 0 here? In a 0 vacuum, you should know this. Why the dt negative here? You should know this. And why dp is 0 here? Right? At the two condition in right and left, the dp will be 0. In the first condition, the dp will be equal to distance. And in the third condition, the dp will be negative. Why does that happen? You should know that. Right? Here it will be dp. I have written here dt. There will be dp. Understood or not?